This is the title of my presentation, Mock-politeness and mock-impoliteness in Italian political discourse, a case study on Italian political tweets. This is the structure of the presentation. First of all, I will explain what are mock-politeness and mock-impoliteness. Indeed, they are second-order concepts, so they are technical terms not used during ordinary conversation. I will describe the data and the methodology used for the annotation, and finally, I will provide some quantitative and qualitative results. It's useful to understand why study mock-politeness and mock-impoliteness, especially in Italian political tweets. First of all, there is an increasing trend of interest in impoliteness, and there is also a growing trend of studies dedicated to understand the function of pragmatic phenomena such as presupposition or vagueness in Italian political discourse. In addition, mock-politeness and mock-impoliteness are understudied phenomena in relation to the Italian language. And also, the focus is on spontaneous conversation in English or in Spanish, on online blogs, but not on Italian political text. Now I define the concept of impoliteness. To sum up, impoliteness is a face attack performed by the speaker or a behavior that someone during a conversation perceived as an attack. It's also crucial to note that impoliteness can foster in-group, out-group dynamics, and that is based on cultural aspects or speaker intention. Now I will explain what is it, mock-politeness. I think that the best definition is that mock-politeness is a polite stance that masks an impolite stance. And this impolite stance arises through implicature. And so we can conclude that mock-politeness is a type of implicational impoliteness, as noted by Culpeper. What is crucial is the impoliteness-politeness mismatch. For example, if we consider tweet number 1 published by Giorgia Meloni, we can note a clear polite stance, "Dear Enrico." But if we consider the context, for example, the only danger is for the less power system, and in general, the context, the electoral campaign, we cannot conclude that Giorgia Meloni makes a polite stance towards Enrico. Indeed, the real communicative intent is to express an attack towards Enrico Letta, the most important left-wing politician. But why she used a mock-politeness stance? Because mock-politeness may be humorous to the audience. And so there is a strategic function when a politician use a mock-politeness strategy. Mock-impoliteness is the opposite. Indeed, mock-impoliteness is a face-treating act, not considered offensive, and that can support the speaker face. So we have a switch from an impolite interpretation to a polite interpretation. And this interpretation is driven by contextual and contextual factors. If we consider tweet number 2, published by Sgarbi, we have a mismatch between the semantic level and the pragmatic level. Indeed, if we consider just the semantic level, we can understand disagreement by Vittorio Sgarbi in relation to the support of Cruciani and his follower. Cruciani was the host of a satirical radio show named Zanzara. Indeed, the tweet, and in particular the idiom Cruciani was missing, that is often collocated with negative events, seem to express disagreement with this support. But if we consider the pragmatic level, and in particular the friendship between Cruciani and Sgarbi, and the humoristic style of Sgarbi, we can conclude that there is a positive interpretation of two, and that Sgarbi's express gratitude for Cruciani's support. Now I will explain the corpus and the methodology used for the annotation. I collected tweets from Carlo Calenda, Vittorio Sgarbi, and Giorgia Meloni. In total, I collected 460 tweets published during 2022 electoral campaign. I used for the annotation the online software Inception, the last version of this software. And now I describe the criteria to identify politeness or impoliteness. I annotated conventionalized impolite or polite formulae, such as gratitude expression or idioms with negative meanings, as noted in 2. I annotated also impolite or polite speech text, for example, personalized attacks or self-phrases that enhance or damage the speaker's or the target's face, as noted in 1. And I annotated also off-record politeness or impoliteness strategies. For example, there are in the corpus some politeness or impoliteness strategies derived from violations of Grice's maxim. For example, there are tweets in which attacks are clearly untrue, as for example, in the example 3 or 4. And they are clearly violation of quality maxim. In addition, there are tweets where a politician uses a surname or a diminutive instead of the full name of the opponent. And so they are a violation of the maxim of Mander. For example, in a couple of tweets, Sgarbi uses the expression Giuseppe instead of the full name Giuseppe Conte. And this is also an allusion to a mistake made by Donald Trump during a public speech in which Donald Trump speaks about Giuseppe Conte, and Donald Trump uses the term Giuseppe. So I annotated also an indirect allusion, as noted by in this example. Now I will provide some quantitative results. As we can note from the table 2, mock politeness is more attested than mock impoliteness, and is also consistent among the 3 politicians. And this data confirm that negative irony is more frequent and easy to process than positive irony. Indeed, we have, I collected 36 forms of mock politeness and just 13 forms of mock impoliteness. And we can explain this data considering the fact that positive irony is more compromising for the speaker's face if the intention of the speaker is not understood. From the table, we can also conclude that Sgarbi has a higher number of mock impoliteness forms. And this confirms that rhetorical style of politician has a crucial role. And in this case, we can conclude that Sgarbi has a humoristic style and an histrionic personality. Now I describe a couple of tweets, one with mock politeness and one with mock impoliteness. First of all, it's crucial to note that more implicitness is related with less responsibility for the speaker. And this is well exemplified by tweet number 3. In this tweet, if we consider just the semantic level and the textual level, we have no reasons not to consider Sgarbi's statement true. Indeed, Sgarbi says that Casini is better than me, he will do a lot, Casini senator for life. But if we consider the context, and in particular the strong rivalry between Sgarbi and Cassini, we can conclude that there is insincerity in 3, and that an implicational impoliteness arises from it. And so that we have a switch from politeness, explicit politeness, and implicational impoliteness. So Sgarbi talks about Cassini in a positive way, but Sgarbi uses insincerity into this. So we can infer that there is impoliteness. But this impoliteness is completely based on the context. And so there is less responsibility for the speaker and more responsibility for the recipient. Now I will examine a case of mock impoliteness. In tweet number 4, Carlo Calenda talks about Taranto, a city devastated by pollution and some other problem. And Calenda says that Taranto deserves the meteorite, so Taranto need to be destroyed. But this is not the real communicative intent of Calenda. Indeed, it's impossible to say that Calenda wants really to see Taranto destroyed, considering also the electoral context. The real communicative intent of Calenda is to show solidarity with the city. So we have to infer the opposite of a country that deserves the meteorite. The real communicative intent to Calenda is to express solidarity, intimacy with this city. But Calenda uses a humoristic, a funny way to express this solidarity. And so Calenda uses a mock impoliteness strategies. This is all, and thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, they are more than accepted.